First, I'd like to start by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, and to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth in sincerity. And a shout out to the hopeful elect. And as you can see behind the scenes, just like what happened in World War II, here in World War III, the Zionists, those Amalekites who call themselves Jews, are funding both sides. You know, aka King Bibi of the Israeli state is funding both sides of the operation just to fool the whole world into thinking that this is a war between Russia and the United States, but they're funding both sides. It is a war between Russia and the United States because, of course, the Zionist entity, the Amalekites, have sided with Russia. That's who they want to lead their new world order after the United States is destroyed. So, you know, they're funded both sides, and of course, you know, they are confederate with the rest of the world, just like they were confederate against us, we the Hebrew Israelites. You know, they're about to destroy this place, Babylon the Great, America. And so, you know, the Zionist entity is with Russia. And because if you ever notice, though, that if Russia was really about protecting Syria, they would do something to stop King Bibi from attacking Damascus most recently. But again, you don't hear about that in the mainstream. But yeah, the Israeli state has been attacking Damascus, attacking Syria. And Russia ain't doing nothing to stop it. And you know that Syria has those S-400 systems because it's the Israeli state that's controlling everything. You know, the Amalekites, you know, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, you know, they're funding both sides. And so that's what makes Ezekiel's prophecy about that. In fact, you know, in chapter 39, he refers to Putin as Hamon GOG. Well, who's Hamon? Haman's another term for the Amalekites, for the Zionists. And so we know that Gog is the leader of Russia, the land of Magog. So this is all being run by the Edomites, you know, to trick the whole world into believing, you know, that you know, there's a good or a bad side, you know, because I'll even admit that Russia looks like they're on the good side, right? But that's because the Zionist entity is tricking the whole world. Because they're looking to cut ties with the United States. They're looking to destroy this place and to bring the world economy down. Well, what better way to bring the world economy down than to destroy this place of trade? You know, Babylon the Great, America. So I'm going to start in Ezekiel's prophecy, chapter 38, starting verse 3. And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Again, you know, this is talking about the leader of Russia and his allies. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, with a great company, with bucklers, shields, all of them handling swords. In other words, all these places are going to fight. And again, you know, we know that it is the Most High that's allowing this because he's the one that's putting the hooks into thy jaws. And of course, you know, right now Russia looks like they're the good guys, you know, because just right as this war begins, you know, which we're seeing the build up to it, you know, because everybody knows that ISIS is really the Israeli Secret Intelligence Services, you know, and that ISIL really means Israeli State and Levant, you know, which the Levant is that whole area, the places of both Arpad and Hamath, you know, which Arpad is modern-day Iraq, and Hamath is the North Africa region. We all know that that's run by the Zionist entity, and that these Amalekites run all that, and in fact the Edomites run Saudi Arabia and all that, and a lot of these places, you know, they're getting ready to turn on America, Babylon the Great. So as the Most High returns and helps destroy Babylon the Great, he's also going to come against Russia, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all of his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou, all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And again, you know, we know that this is, you know, being set up now by the Zionist entity, you know, making you think that Russia's on the side of Syria, you know, making it look like that this was a dispute. But I'm telling you that the Zionist entity has everything to do with this. You know, and we're going to jump down in Ezekiel chapter 39, because this is when the Most High comes against Russia. And I will send a fire on Magog, and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, for they shall know that I am the Lord. So will I make my holy people known in the midst of my people, Yasha, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. Yeah, because he's going to destroy those Amalekites, the Zionists who call themselves Jews, and the real Hebrew Israelites are going to be revealed to the whole world, as we're revealing ourselves now. He woke us up from our dark sleep. We're them dry bones that have come back to life. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the confusion of faith that be among them, the 144,000 and 1/3 of Yasha, you know, it's now known. We know who we are now. Behold, it is come, and it is done, saith the Lord Yahweh. This is the day whereof I have spoken. And they that dwell in the cities of Yasha shall go forth, and shall set fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the hand staves, and with spears, and shall burn them with fire 7 years. And this is when we destroy all those weapons of war, because once we get back to our land, and we are going to destroy all these weapons of war, you know, and there's going to be peace. And all these Edomites and the rest of the world is going into slavery under Yasha, so that they take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they that shall spoil those that spoil them, and rob those that rob them, saith the Lord Yahweh. And it will come to pass in that day that I will give unto GOG a place their graves in Yasha, the valley of the passengers on the east end of the sea, and it shall stop the noise, the noses of the passengers, and they shall bury GOG and his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon GOG. That's right, because again, Hamon is pretty much the leader of the Amalekites. Is another term for Amalek, which are the Zionists who pretend to be Jews, and of course Putin, who is a Zionist, aka Freemason, you know, pretty much set up by the Zionists to be in ruling power, because they will all try to make war against the Lamb, but the Lamb shall overcome, just like it says in Revelation 19. In fact, why don't I just go ahead and bring out Revelation 19, since this all ties in together. Yeah, we'll just start in verse 1, chapter 19, Revelation. After these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Alleluia, salvation and glory, honor and power unto the Lord Yahweh, for thou righteous are his judgments. He hath judged the great whore, which is Babylon the Great, America, and which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. And again they said, Alleluia, and her smoke rose up forever and ever. And again, that's when this place, Babylon the Great, America, is destroyed, you know. But again, you know, Russia and its allies try to make a war against the Lamb, but the Lamb overcomes him. And in the midst of all this, of course, Babylon the Great is also destroyed, you know, which Babylon in the Hebrew means confusion. So this place of confusion, you know, where we didn't know who we were, you know, all this is about to be destroyed, because the Gadites, the North American tribes, both Reuben and Gad, were destroyed by the so-called white men who came over here and lied, you know, and said that it came in peaceably, but destroyed many, you know, and had enslaved all 12 tribes, which are now waking up to this truth, you know. And so the new heaven and the new earth is in the form of being created again, you know, as we're waking up as to who we are. We're going to be the ones that recreate heaven and earth. So that's why we always say that we hope that we're a part of that hopeful elect, you know, because it's going to be beautiful being the first fruits, you know, restoring order and getting rid of Esau once and for all. You know, first he'll go into slavery under us because he has to rebuild everything that he destroyed. and we're going to put them chains to his necks, and we're going to enslave him, you know, and they're going to be, you know, pretty much our slaves, you know, just like what they did to us, but it's going to be worse for them, you know, and of course we're going to take their women, you know, just like they did to us. So it's a beautiful thing. So, you know, don't be fooled, you know, into thinking, though, that, you know, one side's good and one side's bad. No, the Zionist entity controls both. That's why Russia ain't doing anything to stop, you know, the Israeli state from attacking Syria right now, because the Israeli state, the Zionists, control everything, and they're going to crash this world system, which is why the crash of the dollar. They're the ones that are scheming this whole thing. Because, of course, the mark of the beast, the RFID implement, is the ultimate goal to get everybody chipped. And so they're the ones that are staging this war between Russia and America. And ultimately, America, the whore, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed in all this. And it's biblical prophecy, and we're seeing it unfold.